What's up, beautiful ladies and gentlemen? Hi, doing peace and love. It's Krizzo, aka Classic Krizzo Krizzla. My real name is Chibuzo Christian Obaobo. I'm from Nteje, Oyi local government area, Anambra State, Igbo land, Nigeria, Africa. I got the name Krizzo from my two names. I joined up my two names, Christ, Chibuzo. I decided to spell it with K to make it more unique. Before I created my name, I checked the internet to make sure nobody else has the name Krizzo. And my friends, my close friends, was calling me Krizzla. So at some point, I decided to, add Krizzla to the name. That's how I got the name Krizzo Krizzla. I started my music journey when I was a little kid. I went to St. Mary's High School, if they don't know. That's where I actually started this music journey. Shout out to my day one brother, Ace Solo. We started with a group called the Static Family, but we never really got to record because there was no studio around where we grew up. When I was still trying to get into the university, I moved to Oka. I met Solitude. I decided to learn music production from Solitude. I'm a music producer actually, but I don't make beats. I'm a music producer. I started learning music production just to, get to know more about the music game and how it goes and everything. In the studio there, A-Wave Studio to be precise, I met a very good friend and a brother called King Joe the Ghost. He was with a group called Flakes at that time. Him and Excel Drama, they were like the hottest, kids in the school at that time. They already had a song with Whiskey, Vector, and Timaya. So I actually learned a whole lot from them. I met Tobe, Anna, and Squanzi in the studio. We all stayed in the same area, so we decided to, create a group called the BBMH Gang. We are all still doing our own solo thing, but, we record together, make music together, perform together. We did a whole lot together, actually. We made a couple of songs at that time. Later, Hustle separated all of us. I moved to Lagos, and I also moved to Lagos. So we couldn't, put out the body of work we did at that time. It's called Boys Been Making Hits, the album. It's out now on Audiomack and on YouTube and other streaming platforms. Shout out to the BBMH Gang. Shout out to Toby. Shout out to Enna. Shout out to Squanzi. Shout out to Steady. Shout out to my day one brother, my music producer that just died a few weeks ago, Dr. Click on the beat. He actually produced 4 or 5 tracks of the album almost for free. My heart is broken. I lost my day one brother and the producer, Dr. Click on the beat. Rest in peace, my brother, man. When we started having fan base in the Oka city and in the school environment, I decided to move to Lagos to take the music journey to the next level. I and Enna, we moved to Lagos. I actually had a recording contract that invited me to Lagos. There's a man that wanted to sign me at that time. So I moved to Lagos because of the contract. When I got to Lagos, I was calling him. His number wasn't going through for like 6 months. So I decided to, move into the streets and hustle. Because I'm also a very fashionable person by nature. And when I was in school, I used to style some of my friends. I used to give out my clothes, style my friends. And they all always called me a stylist. They all motivated me to start my own clothing brand. So when I got to Lagos, unfortunately, the recording contract that brought me to Lagos didn't go as I expected. I had to move into the street and hustle. I started learning, about fashion. I started my clothing brand, Classic Clothing. I started designing clothes. I started, styling for celebrities. I styled for Fino. I was an assistant stylist in Fino's video shoot. It was Drizzy featuring Fino. I was the assistant stylist. There I met Major Banks. After the video shoot, I played in my record. I was like, yo, big bro, I'm an artist as well. Apart from, being a stylist, I also do music. And I played in my record. He was like, yo, bro, I can't believe you're this dope. You need to take your music career very serious, He offered me a recording contract. He actually wanted to sign me. We started recording. We made a whole lot of songs together. I was still styling because there was no much funds to, push myself. I started for a whole lot of celebrities. I started for Zoro Swag Bags. Like I've always known Zoro. I knew him from the East. I started for Zoro Swag Bag. I started for Fino. I started for Magneto. I started for Pato Rankin. I started for Vector the Viper. Vector and I actually wanted to start a joint clothing brand, but he was kind of afraid. Because when I told him where I'm from, he was like, "Bro, where you from?" I said, "I'm Igbo. I'm from Anambra State." And he was like, "I know you gonna love money." And I was like, "Yo, big bro, this is actually what brought me to Lagos. I'm not a money conscious person, but I need money off what I'm doing. I need to get money off what I'm doing." Unfortunately, the joint clothing brand I wanted to start with Vector didn't go as we planned. I kept on moving. I started for a whole lot of people actually. I can't remember all their names right now. I started for Solistar as well. I started for a whole lot of directors. Director Max. I worked with TG at some point. I worked with a whole lot of people. But I was just doing my music thing on the low, because there was no sponsor, there was nobody, funding what I was doing. It was always just me and myself, I made a record called I'm Gonna Get It with Major Banks.
Let's go. The guy on my mirror told me, I see you riches in the picture of the future, so you gotta work harder.
Major Banks.
I'm grinding on the road to riches. The hustle and the struggle is real. I'm ready to die, 'cause I know that I'm gonna get it, get it, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it, get it, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it, get it, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it this morning, I'm gonna get it, get it, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it this morning, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it this morning, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it. The guy on my mirror told me, I see riches in the picture of your future, so you gotta work harder, 'cause your family needs to eat. I'm trying to make some legacy. Oh Lord, I'm begging you please, and I'm down on my knees. No one calls on you and stay safe. I can't be your son and be ashamed. He said I'm way too blessed to be stressed. I'm working hard to get everything that I want. Believe in my hustle, no need to relent. Come rain, come shine. All the work I put in is not a waste. Forever thankful. My life is fruitful. Oh Lord, I'm grateful. You are ever faithful to me. I'm grinding on the road to riches. The hustle and the struggle is real. I pray to God, 'cause I know that I'm gonna get it, get it, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it, this morning, get it, I'm gonna get it, get it, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it this morning, get it, I'm gonna get it, get it, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it this morning, get it, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it this morning, get it, get it, get it, get it. Regardless of how my hustle make them feel, I'm gonna keep trying to make my mama proud. Put my hood put a city on the world map. Touch lives and be a motivation to the hopeless. I'm just speaking the life that I want into existence. I ain't giving up on it until it happens. Feeling like I got a whole world on my shoulders, ready to fight to the end like a soldier at war zone. I ain't coming back at this point. I was born for this, ready to die for this. If I don't make it big, I ain't going home. Lord, see me through. Extraordinary. On the road to riches, the hustle and the struggle is real. I pray to God, cause I know that I'm gonna get it, 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 I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get
it. But prior to that time, I and my team, the BBMH gang, we recorded an album called the BBMH gang. Boys been making hits, but we couldn't put it out at that time because hustle separated everybody. I moved to Lagos and I moved to Lagos, and we couldn't come together to put it out. But the album is out now on Audio Mac and on YouTube and all the streaming platforms. So when I started working with Major Banks, he actually taught me a whole lot. I changed, I wouldn't say I changed my sound, but I would say I learned more. I added more things to my sound, because I don't want to ride on anybody else's wave. I want to sound like me. I want to be extremely talented. I want to be able to do all genres of music, so Major Banks really helped me with that. Shout out to you, my big brother, Major Banks, the biggest producer on the motherfucking planet. We made I'm Gonna Get It in 2016. We put it out. I shot the video in 2017. I couldn't put it out that time. After I did a radio tour, I felt sick, so I couldn't put out the video at that time. But the audio made waves in radio stations and in the streets.
As Empire Africa One on social media now have a radio station, and that is Empire Radio 360. Well, you can listen live. All you need to do is simple: go download the Empire Smile app on your Android or iOS phone. Best you can listen live at www.empireafrica.com. Well, let's get straight to today's show. Empire exclusive interview with me is someone that I would just save it for later. You guys will get to know. You guys will get to know him as time unfolds. I am in the studio with the one and only Krizzo Krizzla. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. Am I allowed to reintroduce myself?
Oh, well, let's go.
What's going on, beautiful ladies and gentlemen? It's Krizzo Krizzla. Don't panic, you're under my umbrella. You know the Klassic and vibes. We're up in Empire Radio. What's going on, my people?
Okay, I think I like that flow. Quick one, yeah. Let's meet Krizzo Krizzla. Some persons would be wondering, who is Krizzo?
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Beautiful ladies and gentlemen, what's poppin'? It's
poppin'.
Krizzo Krizzla. Don't panic, you're under my umbrella. Put your peace sign in the ceiling if you're feeling good right there. What's good, 042? I'm up in the building. Let's get it cracking.
It's energy in the building. I like the energy, man. Welcome to the show, Mr. Krizzla.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Let's talk about you as an artist. Where are you from? Where are you based?
Okay, I'm from Anambra State.
So you came in all the way from Anambra State?
Yeah, but I'm based in Lagos. I came down from Lagos.
Okay, you came all the way from Lagos?
Yeah.
It sounds even nicer now. Your music artist, you've been recording for a while now. How long have you been doing this music thing?
Okay.
So after I did the radio tour, I fell sick. I couldn't promote the video. In 2000 and just recently, I just put out the video. The video is still a classic. The video is out on YouTube. I made a whole lot of songs with Major Banks that's going to be on my upcoming project called the Classic and Vibes EP. Classic and Vibes EP on the way. Sorry for the wait, family. I was still, growing my clothing brand. I was hustling because, you have no choice. You have no choice than to hustle. It's not easy for the common man here in Nigeria, and coming up from where I'm coming up from, it's not really easy. You get me? So I've always been the one doing everything for myself by myself. So it's not really been easy for me. I started my Classic Made Music label with Major Banks. He always, directed me, always wanted the best for me. I just dropped another single recently, Music Lover, produced by Major Banks. I released the video as well. I also did the part 2 of I'm Gonna Get It, now titled We Gonna Get It. The video is also out on YouTube. I have like 2 or 3. I have like 3 videos online.
Tell them, Classic and Hustlers, what's grinding? It's Classic Made Music up in this. Major Banks, let's get him.
Tryna get it so I put in work every day. All I do is grind, I put it down for my hood. Hung out there for street, so we pray for better day. Don't be said them say, but this year we gon' get it. We gon' get it, 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 we gon' get it. Tell it. I'm to the O to the L-E-Y. On my mind, 247 on my grind. Hall of Fame should be mine. Cause I'm doing what I gotta do all day. Hustle is all I do and no play. Cash rules everything around me. If I don't get it, nobody out here go love me or rate me or call me a real G. Cause nobody will not get money, no go get honey. But it shop for me, say my money go come for me. Oh, Lua beg, hear me. The bills done, they fear me. Make the no double dear me. Cause pants done, they wear me. A king, I want declare me. Make poverty no near me. Tryna get it, so I put in work every day. All I do is grind, I put it down for my hood. Hung out there for street, so we pray for better day. Don't be said them say, but this year we gon' get it. We gon' get it, 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 we gon' get it. Every day upon the same grind. Working with emotion because hunger day this nation. Every night I pray for protection while I'm waiting for my explosion. This money must be made, need them budget life is dead. The bills must be paid by enemies, I'm not afraid.
Classic and Hustlers, what's grinding? It's Classic Made Music up in this. Major Banks.
Tryna get it, so I put in work every day. All I do is grind, I put it down for my hood. Hung out there for street, so we pray for better day. Don't be said them say, but this year we gon' get it. We gon' get it, 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 we gon' get it.
Off the BBMH Gang album, the Boys Be Making Hits album, we also shot a viral video for Sorry I'm Fresh. It's out on YouTube as well. We dropped that 6 years ago. Me and my brothers, we still cool. We have plans of, coming together in the future to work on another body of work. But for now, we're all moving, differently because our visions changed. Hustle separated us, our visions also changed. So, everybody's doing their own thing. Enna is doing good. Tobe is also doing good. We lost Dr. Click, our official producer. My heart is broken as I'm talking to you right now, but, life goes on. What I call my style of music is Afro Classic. It's a little bit of everything, a little bit of rap, a little bit of trap, a little bit of Afrobeat, a little bit of raga, everything basically, My sort of inspiration is the life I live. I sing about the life I live. Most of my songs come from, a personal experience, So that's what it is basically. I actually do a whole lot. I'm a hustler. I already told you I have a clothing brand called Classic Krizzla Clothing. I'm into real estate as well. I have an online TV, Klassic TV, where I teach about African spirituality. I also do the Grand Come Up Talk Show, where I interview my fellow dope and upcoming artists. I've actually interviewed for a few of them. I've interviewed Rati, Finos artist, Penthouse representing, Romeo Max, Fanzi, a few of them, Major Banks. The edge of believing is over, you get me? So I feel like it's part of my journey. Once you know, you have to help and enlighten others, you get me? There's a whole lot of miseducated people that parade themselves everywhere as educated people. You get me? No one is going to teach you what you need to know. They teach you what they want you to know. It's good to go to school, get a degree and come out, but it's also good you hustle. You get me? It's good because once you know, you already know. That's what it do. Alright, one of the major challenges I'm having is the same challenge that every other upcoming artist from the east side is having, It might not be really affecting the bigger ones in the game, but like the upcoming artists from the east side, most of them that I've really talked to, are having the same experience. The industry is actually Igbophobic, you get me? And that's because most of the TV stations in Nigeria are all in Lagos. Most of the big radio stations are all in Lagos, you get me? So I always try to understand. Nobody will really want you to come to their place and conquer them or do better than their own people, you get me? So most of us from the east side, the upcoming artists, we're having that challenge. It's a bit harder to break in the industry there in Lagos, because they don't really understand your culture. And you know that when you're working to impress people who don't really understand your vibe, your culture, your language, that's really putting yourself under pressure. And anytime you're working to impress anybody, you don't do your best, you get me? And another challenge I'm having is that some of the radio stations in the east also don't really support us from the east side. That's because of that's actually reasons I don't really know why. They prefer playing the records of the ones they think that are big enough to be played on radio. I'm getting their plays, but I feel like it's not the way it's supposed to be, you get me? Our people from the east side, they don't like to support their own thing. Most people actually, they don't like to support their own people, until you're big, that you're too big that they can't resist you anymore. Then they'll start claiming and start supporting you. Then they'll have no other choice than to do so. Another major challenge I'm having is when I stopped believing and started knowing, that disconnected me to a whole lot of people around me, a whole lot of people that was supporting me, because they don't understand me anymore. Like when I started learning about my history, about African spirituality and all that stuff, people around me, thought I was becoming strange, because I talk about some of the things they don't know and some of the things they don't understand. They say the mind only understands what the mind is ready to comprehend. You get me? So, but I still have people that support me unconditionally. I still have people that love and support everything I do unconditionally. So even my own family, at some point, my mom thought I was crazy. Because of the things I was saying. The information I was putting out online. I was asking questions. So that's one of the major challenges I'm having that I had. It's like I feel like I no longer have that challenge, because it's now reflecting on my music, and I have other people doing almost the same kind of thing now. I see Bono Boy talking about African liberation and all that stuff. Two-Face has always talked about it. So it was a bit hard for me to switch from the regular type of music everybody else do to conscious music. You know what I mean? Because what I do now is conscious classic made music. You know, I'm making the kind of music that will last for a very long time. You know, I'm making the kind of music that is very educative and very inspiring. You know what I mean? So it was a bit, difficult for me to switch. You know what I mean? So, but right now, people are catching the vibe. People are catching the vibe. You know what I mean? So everything Chris, you know what to do. Honestly, it was not really that difficult for me because I've always had my own mind. You know what I mean? I'm someone that, do what I like to do, regardless of what anybody thinks or how anybody else feels about it. You know what I mean? I like to do my own thing, my own way. So it wasn't too hard and difficult for me. You know what I mean? And the vibe comes from, nature and the life I live. It just keeps coming. You know what I mean? But, I feel like making the regular type of music that everybody wants to hear, is a bit harder. Because you want to impress them. You want to impress the kind of audience you want to listen. I still make every kind of music though, but I'm more focused on, conscious, classic made music.
We gon' get it, we gon' get it, get it, we gon' get it, we gon' get it, get it, we gon' get it, we gon' get it, get it, we gon' get it. Tell him. I am to the O to the N-E-Y on my mind, 247 on my grind, all of fame, shoot me mine.
98.3 FM.
All day hustle, it's all I do and no play. Cash rules everything around me. If I don't get it, nobody out here gon' love me, or rate me, or call me a real G. Cause nobody when I get money, no go get honey. But it shop for me, say my money go come for me. Oh, Lou, I beg you, hear me. The bills done, they fear me. Make the no double hear me. Cause pants done, they wear me. A king, I want to declare me. Make my man to don't let me. Try to get it, so I put in work every day. All I do is grind, I put it down for my hood. One got there for street, so we pray for better days. Nobody say them same, but they say we gon' get it. We gon' get it, 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 we gon' get it. Every day me day on the same grind, working with the emotion because hunger day this nation.
Major Banks, let's get him.
Tryna get it, so I put in work every day. All I do is grind, I put it down for my hood. I'm got that for street, so we pray for better day. Nobody say them same, but this year we gon' get it. We gon' get it, 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 we gon' get it. I am to the O to the N-E-Y on my mind, 247 on my grind, all of fame should be mine. Cause I'm doing what I gotta do all day, hustle is all I do and no play. Cash rules everything around me. If I don't get it, nobody out here gon' love me, or rate me, or call me a real G. Cause nobody when I get money, no go get honey. But it shop for me, say my money gon' come for me. Oh, Lou, I beg you, hear me.
Honestly, growing up, I always loved music. I've always been a music lover, and when I was a kid, my father would always, play me Osadebe, Fela Kuti, all that classics. He always played all those records for me. So that made me fall in love with music. My father was I would say like a DJ. He loves playing music a lot. So growing up, I've already, fallen in love with music, and I said to myself that I'm really gonna do this stuff. I started learning, how to write at a very young age. I also said, what, since there's nobody around my neighborhood that can produce the kind of beats I want, I have to go learn music production to some reasonable extent, so I can tell anybody I meet that is a beat maker the progression of the kind of beat I want. So that really helped my sound. Yeah. Right now, I would say Burna Boy, the African giant. I would like to work with Burna Boy, but I hope it happens organically, because I'm the type of person that don't like to chase people. I've actually tried to feature a few artists that are my friends in the game. It never really worked out. They promised to do the verses, Well, it's like I waited for almost a year. It never happened, so I moved on. You know what I mean? And I'm way too confident in what I'm doing that that I will have to say I must get someone on my record to make hit songs. You know what I mean? So, but I would like to work with Two-Face, Fino, Burna Boy. You know, just to mention a few. Anybody that really loves what I'm doing, that feels I have the vibe to open a show for them, I would be very happy and excited to do that. Well, let me say I would like to open a show for Fino or Flavor, because I'm currently in the East Side. I'm trying to take my vibe back home. I want to carry my culture along as well. You get me? So Fino, Flavor, Zoro, P-Square, they're like the biggest thing out of the East Side. So if any of them should want me to open a show for them, I'll be very happy to do that.
Let's go. The guy on my mirror told me, I see you with your send a picture of the feature, so you gotta work hard, cause your family is the way. I'm trying to make some energy. Oh, baby, you please, and I'm down on my knees. No cause on you, I stay safe. I'm trying to keep your soul, I'll be ashamed. Said I'm way too blessed, too stressed. I'm working hard to get everything that I want. Believe in my hustle, no need to relent. All the work I put in is not in vain. Forever thankful. Oh Lord, I'm grateful you are ever faithful to me. I'm to the O to the N-E-Y. On my mind, 247 on my grind. Hall of Fame should be mine. Cause I'm doing what I gotta do all day. Hustle is all I do and no play. Cash rules everything around me. If I don't get it, nobody out here gonna love me or rate me or call me a real G. Cause nobody will not get money, no go get honey. But it shop for me, say my money go come for me. Oh, Lua beg you hear me. The bills done they fear me. Make the no double dear me. Cause pants
I would just it would be very hard to do, but if I could change anything, it has to be the politics in the game. You know what I mean? Because there's quantity in the sale and quality without sales. You know what I mean? The kind of music that blow up that we hear every day in the streets is not really the kind of music that is supposed to be like giving more attention to. You know what I mean? Music is a very spiritual thing. And I mean, music is a tool for education. Music is a tool for communication. And if all the songs we hear on the radio station and on the TV stations are about party, sex, violence, and all this stuff, you already know that it's going to have a very negative impact in the society. But if we have inspiring songs, motivational songs, educational songs, it's really going to help the society, you know what I mean? Because music is very powerful. You know what I mean? Sometimes when I'm walking down the street, I see young kids, singing along to some kind of songs that I wouldn't even let my own kids listen to. You get me? So I feel like that has a negative impact in the society. So if I could change anything, I would change the politics in the game. You know what I mean? I would love people to be promoted regardless of where they are coming from. You know what I mean? Not minding the fact that they are Igbo, they are Hausa, they are Yoruba, they are this, they are that. As long as the music is conscious and dope and educational, play that record as so many times as you can. Peace out, man. All the big celebrities I've worked with that I'm really grateful to have, worked for or worked with in the game, music-wise and clothing-wise. First of all, I'll say Major Banks. You know what I mean? He really motivated me. Like, Major Banks once told me that I could be the Jay-Z and Chris Brown of African music. That's like the biggest motivation I've ever got from anybody apart from myself. You know what I mean? So I'm super grateful to Major Banks. I would say Zorro, yeah. He also motivated me to, stick to my sound and what I do. See me. Big shout out to See Me. I actually met See Me through Vector. I went to see Vector in a gym house somewhere in Magodo, and I met See Me, and I was like, "Hey, See Me, I'm your biggest fan. You've just met one of your biggest fans. I'm Krizzo. I have a clothing brand, Classic Clothing. I would like to style for you." And she was so excited. She said, "You go do your thing. Take my manager's number and hit us up when you're done." I made a few stuffs for her and sent it to her manager. She wore it. She had to go do research and find out what my Instagram handle was to tag me. She actually wore my brand to Big Brother Africa. You get me? The video is out online. You can't see it here. I've styled for Magneto. I'm also grateful. I've actually designed for Pato Ranking. Prior to the video shoot that I actually met him one-on-one. It was Magneto's video shoot, If I Get Money Here, featuring Pato Ranking. So I was the assistant stylist as well. I styled Magneto, I also styled for Pato. After the video shoot, I went to Pato and I said, "Big bro, my name is Krizzo. I'm the one that sent you a jacket through Major Banks." And he shouted and hugged me. He said, "Bro, I've been looking for you. The number they gave me is not going through. The stuff you made for me is so nice. Can you go do more? Just do more, like 10 or 15 and send them to me or bring them to me yourself. I'm going to pay any amount you charge." I'm really grateful to Pato. Vector as well, Although, we later fell out because the clothing brand he wanted to do with me, we didn't do it. I already made a couple of stuffs for him. I actually later wanted to put him on my song. He never did that. I just did myself, my thing. I'm still grateful to him because I learned a few things from him. He was the one that told me that in this game, to make it through, you don't have to be money conscious. Everything you do is not going to be about money. I know that you Igbo people love money a lot. So that was a very big brotherly advice. So just to mention a few, I'm really grateful to a whole lot of people in the game.
Hold up. So right about now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to hand over the microphone to my brother from the mother, Krizzo Krizzla, to take us on the right tonight. So all you just gotta do is put on your guys' shoe and fasten your seatbelt. Let's go entertainment more than water tonight. Hey, yo, homie, what's up with you? Yes, yo, Mr. DJ, drop that classic one time, let's go now.
Classic and hustlers, what's grinding? It's Classic made music up in this. Major Banks, let's get it.
Time, but you walk every day. All I do is grind, I put it down for my hood. All that came for street, so we pray for better days. Don't be sad, but it's still we gon' get it. We gon' get it, 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 we gon' get it. I'm to the O to the L-E-Y on my mind. Before 7 on my grind, all of them should be mine. 'Cause I'm doing what I gotta do all day. Hustle is all I do with no play. Alright, keep rocking. What's gonna do, little Jimmy? Yeah, welcome to my listening party. We open big now, DJ, hold that shit. Hold that shit, hold that shit. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? DJ, are you fucking ready? I want you to turn this shit up one time. Fucking 10 minutes, I want my people to get down. Are you gonna listen to me? No, listen up now. Can we talk about the lives that we lose? Can we talk about what's going on? They fight for religion, I'm afraid of my reparation. Can we talk about it now? Can we talk about slavery in Libya? I know they are not gonna play this song for repeat, but still I'm gonna talk about it. Oh yeah, I'm gonna talk about it. It's freedom, but that's they're ready to kill me, cause I'm ready to die. It's not a call for a fight, I just wanna be free. Being black is not a crime, let my people go. If that you tell me what thing you could do when you people know the child, tell me how you gonna feel when the government is stealing from you and you know the thought like I was talking about selling on black to Libya. Cause if one of us is for sale, then all of us is free. Then we talk about the killing of my people in millions. Take no money for wars, but they got people. Then we talk about the failed promises and the fake prophecies. Yeah, we talk about the lives that we lose, and we talk about what's going on. The effect of religion, I'm afraid of my race reparation. Can we talk about it now? Can we talk about slavery in Libya? I know they are not gonna play this song for a play, but still I'm gonna talk about it. Say what? Yeah, I'm gonna talk about it. Can we talk about? Can we fucking talk about what's going on in the world? Can we talk about? Can we fucking talk about it? Because if we don't stop us everything, you must take our story so good. I'm the gun that can kill the body and not the soul. Middle finger to the ones that escaped from people that left the gold. Or paying the hook to the hopeless. DJ, say how you would start. Let's roll this shit up one time. Tune up the motherfucking vibes. This is the gentleman, ladies and gentlemen. Krizzo Krizzla. What's up, people? The beats now. All eyes on me. They got you everywhere you staring at me. I got your girl wishing that you do it like me. I know all these boys wanna swagger like me. I should in with the born and see it with the bus. I got her remote cause I tell her we the bus. And then she bust. I see you chillin' with your niggas and I chillin' with my bosses. If you ain't talking money, in my office. Oh yeah, that girl, you are the closer. Oh yeah, come closer. Oh my, take water. I'm looking at top for my own leg. Singing my new this man, don't be near a play. If I come well, you control it. You control it. I'm gonna see you on paper. I'm shining like a star. I'm fresh, check it on you. I'm ready where you waiting, cause I'm shining like a star. And the VIP celebrity love star. I'm shining like a star. I'm fresh, check
this little party, and we open Bay Lounge. You know the classic vibes. DJ, drop that classic one time. Let's go now. We don't fucking get this voila.
Tell them, Classic and Hustlers, what's grinding? It's Classic made music up in this. With your bangs, let's get him.
Try to get it swag when they walk every day. All I do is grind, I'm going down for my hood. I got me for streets, so we run from that day. Nobody said the same, but this year we gon' get it. We gon' get it, get it, we gon' get it. We gon' get it, get it, we gon' get it. We gon' get it, get it, we gon' get it. We gon' get it, get it, we gon' get it. M to the O to the N-E-Y on my mind, for simple on my brain. All of fame should be mine. Yes, I'm doing what I gotta do all day. Hustle is all I'm doing, no play. Cash rules everything around me. If I don't get it, nobody out here will love me or rate me or call me a real G. Cause I broke my body, I don't get money, no go get money, but a job for me. Say my money go come for me. Go do I beg you, hear me, the bills don't live here, me. Make the no dog get me, cause that's not the way me. Hey, king, I want to clear me, make the party no near me. Try to get it swag, but I want every day. All I do is grind, I put it down for my rules. Got me for street, so we pray for that day. Don't be said and say, but it's here, we gon' get it. We gon' get it, get it, we gon' get it. We gon' get it, we gon' get it. We gon' get it, get it, we gon' get it. We gon' get it, get it, we gon' get it. Every day we want the same rhyme. Fucking with the emotion because I got it this nation. Every night I pray for protection. When I'm looking for my explosion. This money must be made. Yeah, but your life is good. This must be paid. My enemies are not afraid. Not fucking afraid.
What's grinding? It's Classic made music up in this. With your bangs.
Try to get it to my body, I get it. All I do is grind, I'm putting down for my hood. I got me for street, so I grind every day. Don't be saying the same, but this year we gon' get it. We gon' get it, get it, we gon' get it. We gon' get it, get it, we gon' get it. We gon' get it, get it, we gon' get it. We gon' get it, get it, we gon' get it.
You know the classic vibes. Can you fucking play me that motherfucking song that introduced Krizzo Krizzla to the fucking world? I'm gonna get it, produced by with your bands. Drop the fucking shit. We listening to the remix to that nigga. Want my people to hear that shit, bro. I'm gonna get it. Drop that classic one time. For fucking motivational use only.
I'm riding on the road to riches. The hustle and the struggle is real. I pray you back, cause I know that I'm gon' get it, I'm gon' get it. I'm gon' get this money. I'm gon' get it, I'm gon' get it. I'm gon' get this money. I'm gon' get it, I'm gon' get it. I'm gon' get this money. The guy on my mirror told me, I see you riches in the future of the future, so you gotta work harder, cause your family needs to eat. I'm trying to make some liver cheese. Oh Lord, I'm begging you please, and I'm down on my knees. No one calls on you and stay safe. I can't be a son, I'll be ashamed. Instead of way too blessed, but be stressed. I'm walking out to bed, everything that I want. Believe in my hustle, no need to relax. Don't wait, don't shine. All the work I'm putting is not a the ways. Forever thankful. My life is fruitful, but no one grateful. You are ever grateful for me. I'm grinding on the road to riches. The hustle of the struggle is real. I pray to God, 'cause I know that I'm gon' get it. I'm gon' get it, get it. I'm gon' get it. I'm gon' get it, get it. I'm gon' get it. I'm gon' get it, get it. I'm gon' get it. I'm gon' get it, get it. I'm gon' get it. I'm gon' get it, get it. I'm gon' get it. I'm gon' get it, get it. I'm gon' get it. I'm gon' get it, get it. I'm gon' get it. I'm gon' get it, I'm gon' get it. Get it, get it, get it. Regardless of how my house is made me feel, I'm gonna keep trying to make my mama proud. Put my hood and city on the road map. Touch lives and be a motivation to the hopeless. I'm just speaking the life that I want into existence. Arrogance is on my name until it happens. Feeling like I got a whole world on my shoulders. Ready to fight to the end like a soldier goes on. I ain't going back at this point. I was born for this, ready to die for this. If I don't make it big, I ain't going home. Let's see the truth.
Yo, what's up, beautiful ladies and gentlemen? How you doing? Peace and love. It's Krizzo Krizzla. Don't panic, you're under my umbrella. Wow, cheer. Who is Krizzo documentary? Let's get it cracking. Yeah, actually, there was a label that came from America last year, 2021, that wanted to sign me. The name of the label is, I think, Bentley Records. They work with Sean Kingston, Snoop Dogg, and some other international artists. They actually wanted to sign me. It was more like a distribution contract to me. You know, most of the things they wanted to do were things I've been doing independently on my own that I think I could do on my own. You know, so I had to turn it down because I don't really see myself as an independent artist. I'm signed to my own label. Klassic made music. I found myself. I do everything single-handedly, you know, with the help of a few supporters that has been backing me from day one. Shout out to Major Banks, shout out to Solitude, shout out to Ekesin, shout out to KK Black and my family. So I've been able to do a few reasonable stuffs for myself. So any label I'm going to sign to has to do more than I've been able to do for myself. You get me? So I had to, you know, turn down the deal because it was more of like a distributional contract for me. You know, so I'm still on my own, do my thing, classic music forever. Let's get it. First of all, if we have to be honest to ourselves, you know that everything is not for everyone. There's no way you can make any type of music that everyone would love and appreciate. You get me? Like I said before, everything is not for everyone. You know, some things are for some people. You get me? And being that I make more of classic made conscious music now, you don't really expect everyone to like it. You get me? But you do it for everyone, but at the same time, you know that everyone is not gonna like it because everything is not for everyone. I make the type of music that that it's easy for anybody to get along with, to vibe to, and to like. But sometimes, like I said before, everything is not for everyone. Sometimes it's not always the way you think it is. You get me? So that's what I really mean. I mean, I have everybody in mind. I want to do it for everybody, but at the same time, I know that everybody is not gonna appreciate what I do. You get me? So that's what it is. I'm at peace with myself and everyone around me. I'm a very peaceful person by nature. My surname actually means peacemaker, Ubuogo. I'm a peacemaker by nature, but we are human beings. I'm the type of person that if you do anything to me that I don't like, I'm gonna say it to you directly on it or indirectly, or any way I feel like I'm supposed to react to show that what you did you were not supposed to do. I'm that type of person. I'm a real person. I'm real to the bone. I actually called out a few people in the industry. I think I called out Vector. I called out Zorro. I called out Magneto. And that was because these people were once very, very close to me. You get me? I already talked about my little history I had with Vector. I met Vector in 2016. He wanted to start a brand with me. That it didn't really work out the way we planned. I kept it moving. I did a whole lot of things that I never got no credit or paid for. So we are human beings. You get me? They say a man is not supposed to be emotional, but sometimes we get into our feelings and we act exactly how we feel. You get me? He promised to do a verse on my song, I'm Gonna Get It remix, which is We Gonna Get It. He promised to do a verse on the song. He liked the first one that I did, and he said that the beat is kind of too technical for him. Shout out to Major Banks for that special beat. He advised we do something more commercial. And Vector is actually the reason why I made another beat. I had to do a part 2 of the same song instead of remix. He advised I do something more commercial. I did that. Shout out to Major Banks for doing that beat for me too. I sent the beat across to Vector. He said he liked it. He assured me that he was gonna do a verse and send to me. Like, I waited for a couple of months. He never did that. I kept it moving. I also reached out to Magneto. He also promised a verse. His own, I would say maybe he got too big or too busy. He never did that too. Zoro was the only one that kept promising me that he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. But your life or your destiny is not tied to anyone. You get me? So you can always do anything you want to do. Without anybody else's validation or help. You get me? So I waited, a couple of months for them. None of them came through with the verse they promised. I had to, do the part 2 of the song by myself. We're Gonna Get It is out now. The video is out on YouTube. I had to do my thing myself. You get me? But I was kind of sad that people I was there for at their downtime, or at their prime time. The time they needed people to be around them, the time they needed help and support. Like, I felt like people I was there for, didn't come through for me. You get me? So it's like I did a call out. Some of them are still having my stops. It's funny, you get me? Like, I style for celebrities. Some, I don't want to mention names. I don't want to throw shades. But some of them are still having my stuffs. When you call them, they think you're calling them for something else. So that made me do the call out. I'm at peace with them now. I'm at peace with myself. I reached out to Zoro on Instagram. We talked about it. We actually laughed about it. So we're cool now. I've not been able to reach out to Vector since that time. I still have his number. I've not been able to reach out to him since that time. We're all cool. We're all cool. But people are ungrateful. Let me just put it like that. People are ungrateful. Sometimes you don't expect. You don't expect you from other people. You get me? So that's what it is. It's been going great. Nothing good comes easy. You know what I mean? Nothing good comes easy. I've been grinding on the low. I don't want to move fast. I want to move correctly. I want to move in the right direction. You get me? I'm not coming into the industry to do a waka pass. I'm coming here to stay. You get me? So it's been going great so far. I see myself on top of the world. I see myself taking over everything I've always planned to do. I see myself in my own lane doing my own type of music, making classics. I see myself, touring countries. I see myself, doing a lot of numbers with my music, with my craft. I see my clothing brand becoming one of the biggest Pan-African clothing brand in Africa. The only advice I have for you all is still the same advice I would, have for myself. Just keep doing your thing. Create your own lane and keep working on your own lane. Nothing good comes easy, you get me? As long as you're doing what you love to do, as long as you're doing what you've always wanted to do in life, you're successful. There's beauty in the struggle. That time you're still trying to get it, that time you're still trying to figure the whole thing out. That's where the beauty is. So just keep on doing your thing. There's the music and there's the music business. First of all, learn the music, create your own vibe, create your own craft, do your own thing, be very good at it, and learn the music business. Because you don't just want to make music for fun or have your music everywhere, but you're not making a dime off what you're doing. So I advise you learn about the music business as well. You get me? I don't think that's true. I personally, I don't do drugs. I just vibe. Music is inside of me. I feel like I don't need to take anything. I don't even need to drink to sing or to rap or to do anything musically. Because it's coming from the inside. I don't believe it's true. I don't think you have to do drugs to be able to vibe. I actually came from a very humble background. Honestly, I lost my father when I was about 11 years old, and I became a hustler since that time. Shout out to my mom, Ms. Ngozi Obo. She has been a both parent since I lost my father. She has been a father and a mother to me. I'm the first child out of a family of 4. I have 3 younger siblings. We are 4 in number, 2 boys, 2 girls. My younger brother is also an actor and a comedian. His name is KK Black. You could look him up online. So it's just the 4 of us, and my other cousins. I have a very big extended family actually. But my immediate family, we're just 4. Just I and my 3 younger siblings. Yo, A-Town City, you know what to do. A-Town is my hood. We all started grinding up from here. It all started in this city. So A-Town is my hood. I rep A-Town 1. I'm the type that love to be in the studio every chance I get. Any opportunity I get to be in the studio, that's one of my favorite places to be. You get me? When I was always with Major Banks, I'm always in the studio with him. So I've had a lot of beautiful studio experiences with so many artists. Apart from me while recording, because I love recording. I love hearing my own voice. I love correcting myself when I make mistakes. I love, striving to do better than I've done. One of the best studio moments I've had was with Runtown. I was actually in the studio the day Runtown recorded "Mad Over You." I followed Major Banks to a studio in Sululere. It was a George Nathaniel's studio, extraordinary. So we went there to get my song, I'm Gonna Get It, that was just mixed and mastered by George. We were in the studio and Runtown entered. So we all greeted, and me and Major, we decided to sit back and chill for a while before leaving. So Runtown started recording Mad Over You. It was crazy, you know what I mean? Because I still remember how the whole studio section went down, and I still remember a couple of things, I contributed, while sitting there. Major also contributed. Like everybody in the studio, we're all vibing. Shout out to Runtown. He's like one of the most talented people I've ever met in my life. The dude is extremely talented, man. And he records just once. He's a one-take god. He just recorded the chorus. We're all vibing to it. Before you know, started doing the verses. We're all dancing, vibing in the studio. Like after like a few months, the record came out and became one of the biggest songs out of Africa. So I actually witnessed greatness that day. That was one of my favorite studio moments. I was also in the studio one time with Zoro. I can't really remember the song he recorded in my presence. I was also in the studio one time like that. I went to Two-Face house with my friend who is Two-Face personal bassist, Bolaji. Shout out to Bulge Beats. So I went to Two-Face house with him. We went into Two-Face studio, and he was recording. I think the song he was recording that day was Touch a Life. Touch a Life today. He was recording that songs. Like I could see good goosebumps of coming out of my body, because the song was so touching. You get me? So I experienced the whole recording. It was magical that day. Two-Face, shout out to Tubaba, one of the most talented out of Africa. I was also in the studio one time with EO Blaze. I can't really remember the song he was recording that day, but I think it was in Major Banks' studio. So I've actually, witnessed greatness so many times. I'm a studio rat. I love being in the studio. I love being around music every time. Yeah, I'm currently working on my EP. That's like my first body of work. Klassic and Vibes EP on the way. It's going to be 7 tracks EP. Shout out to Major Banks. Shout out to Dr. Click. Shout out to late Dr. Click on the beat. Rest in peace, brother man. Shout out to Megabytes. Shout out to Electro Mix. We're still in the studio. We're still cooking. Klassic and Vibes EP is going to be out very soon. Anticipate and wait on that. If I have any new project out, I just dropped a new single, Music Lover.
Shawty says she loves me like a hit song, she repeats me. Want me tell her, say I'm a music lover. I got music in my head. You know she's my babe. I got music in my head.
What's up, beautiful ladies and gentlemen? How you doing? Peace and love. It's Krizzo Krizzla. Don't panic, you're under my umbrella. How you doing? Peace and love. Follow me on my social media handles. On Instagram at Krizzo Krizzla. On Facebook at Krizzo Krizzla. Follow my YouTube channel at Krizzo Krizzla. Follow our TV on Instagram at Klassic and TV. On Facebook at Klassic and TV, on YouTube at Klassic and TV. Subscribe and turn on the notification. Peace and love. We're out here.